Good morning. How are you? I am recording this one time, you guys. We're going to start here in about 1 minute. This is the total body March Madness Tabata for you to use either when you just need an extra workout or if you're part of the challenge. So there are 2 rounds of work. In each round there are 4 exercises. We go through those 4 exercises 3 times each, okay? So the first 4 exercises, a set of dumbbells is okay if you have them. If you don't, it's all right. There's a lot of body weight here, no big deal. So the first one is jump squat. The second exercise is a bridge march. The third one is a leg lift with that dumbbell if you have one. And the last one is shoulder taps. So this is total body. I'm going to show you different options when we're doing it. We're about 15 seconds off, and you're going to hear that first timer. And once you know the 4 exercises, you do not have to go with me. You can
5 seconds.
Music on and just proceed. But if those jump squats, so obviously if jumping is not an option for you, then we are not going to jump. We can just evaluate. So either way is totally fine.
Five seconds. Five seconds.
Bridge marches are next. So I want you to plant your feet close enough that my fingers can almost touch those heels. Shift those shoulders to your back. Lift. Lift. Move slow and control. If this is too much for you right now, just hold the bridge. Practice the bridge and pulse. But if we can march, let's march. Really good exercise for your glutes, your hips, this whole
5 seconds.
Whole core between your mid quad. Good. Pull those knees in, give them a hug. Next exercise is going to be those leg lifts with a dumbbell. So if you don't have a dumbbell, no worries. Just leave your hands where they are. You don't need to hold anything.
5 seconds.
So we're going to take those legs, stick them in the air, press that lower back. Tap that weight, if there is one, and bring it back up, just like so. Now, if you start to feel your lower back peel off the ground, then what I need you to do is bend your knees and just tap your heel, okay? Because it's very important that your lower back stays sealed. That's how we get those core muscles to engage. By adding that dumbbell in,
5 seconds.
we're working those lower ab muscles and those upper ab muscles, as well as all those core muscles inside, nice and deep. All right. Last exercise is shoulder taps. So, we're going to get in that high plank position.
5 seconds.
Facing this way so you can see. So we're going to get in that high plank position. I don't want to shift my weight. I want to tap, 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 just like so. So let's see. Notice my hips are not shifting because I'm engaging those core muscles. If you need to bring your knees down, same thing applies. Guess what, you guys? This works great too, okay? But just stay engaged the whole time.
5 seconds.
That was a whole round. Let's go again. jump squats. Here we go.
5 seconds.
Make sure you're cushioning those knees. You don't want to make it so you're like, okay? Be soft. Maybe we go up, jump, up. I hear a lot of people saying, well, I don't like to jump, this and that. You guys, it's really good for your bones. Just a little. We don't have to jump all the time. No.
5 seconds.
March. Legs nice and tight.
5 seconds.
Feet are a little closer together. They're hip distance apart or less. Lift. The goal is to keep the hips as high as possible when you're doing it. And if we're not ready for that full march and you're ready for more than a hold, lift it a little. Lift it a little. Okay, baby steps. It's all good. They all help. Because we want to be as strong in this area as possible. Helps with balance.
5 seconds.
Actually, let me show you if you're not using the dumbbell. You just keep your hands free. We can make it a dead bug.
5 seconds.
If you're not using a dumbbell, then we can just take it all the way back and then all the way up. If you want to make it harder, you can bring those shoulders up off the ground and make it hollowed out a little more. Because there's always ways we can tweak stuff. See how that works? And at the top, we're doing a nice crunch. Keeping that lower back.
5 seconds.
All right, nice thing, shoulder taps. Here we go. Flip it over. Again, now this time on the marches, we want our feet nice and narrow. On the shoulders,
5 seconds.
we want our feet nice and wide, okay? Because we want to resist that to rotate. So, keeping those hands underneath your shoulders. So if I'm not, then I like kind of twist. That is not what we want. We don't want to open up those hips at all. We want to stay square. Super strong core here. Engaged. Squeeze those quads while you're doing it. An alternative here, like I said, you could come on your knees. The other option would be just to hold
5 seconds.
or a plank. That would be fine. Or a high plank. All right, 2 rounds down. Next up, jump squat. So in the real world, you can't make it to class. You can't get in something to get
5 seconds.
up. This is great for that. You can get it done at home. It'll do the trick, all right? You really don't need any equipment.
Five seconds.
All right. Next. next, we're gonna do that bridge march again. Last round of these, guys. My heart rate is up. Ha.
5 seconds.
All right, feet nice and in line. So nice and narrow. My arms are pushed in. Number one priority is this nice strong bridge. Now, I'm gonna lift a leg, and nothing changes. Nothing changes in my bridge. You see how that is? If you start to feel this, we need to have this, okay? So if you have to move slower than the average, it's just fine, because guess what? The whole time
5 seconds.
you're working. Whether you move, actually, you work more the slower you move. All right, next we have that leg lift with the dumbbell. All right, but again, as I showed you before, we don't really
5 seconds.
do it. I like the dumbbell, but I also so the last thing I would want is anyone to not do this because they don't have a dumbbell. That is not a valid excuse. Ooh, nice and strong. Keeping that lower back pressed into the ground. Engaged as you bring up. Whew.
5 seconds.
4, 3, 2. Oh my gosh. All right, we're going to do those shoulder taps one more time. Then we're going to move on to the second round. That means we'd be halfway done. All right. Woo. Here we go. Let me do them this way this time. So you guys can check.
5 seconds.
We're going to get in that nice wide. See how wide out my feet are? Nice wide stance here. Hands under my shoulders. Stopping my hips. Even though I'm more tired now, don't want to rotate those hips. Super strong core the whole time. Tap, tap. Don't move fast. Another one, we don't need to move fast. And as you engage your core,
5 seconds.
you're breathing. All right, guys, nice job. That is the whole first half of our workout. So go ahead, you can pause this and grab a drink. All right, so we are up for round 2, the second half of this total body HIIT workout, the challenge, and hope you grabbed a drink. Again, you don't need dumbbells for the second one. We have 4 exercises. We'll go through them 3 times. We start out with switch lunges, which is a little bit higher intensity, and then we're gonna do some side planks with a leg lift. I'll show you multiple ways to get those done on the right and then on the left, or whichever side. And then we're gonna do a crisscross blast off push up, which is kind of like a combo movement. I do have my dumbbells here in case your wrists kind of bother you on the ground for push-ups. This is kind of one where some people like to use dumbbells as handles, so I'll show you that. That's about it. So we've got 3 rounds here of these 4 exercises, and then we are done for today. Just waiting on our timer. Again, that first exercise is switch lunges. So I'm going to give you 2 options for these.
5 seconds.
You can either do them with that full high intensity version. Well, let's get started. Where we go ahead and we stand, jump, and switch. Jump, and switch. Just like so. The higher you jump, the more it's going to get your heart rate up. And if that doesn't work for you, if you're like, I already used up all my jumping in those jump spots, then what about just this? We're just switching back and forth, moving quickly. Either way, do what you can. If you're jumping, be kind to those knees.
5 seconds.
Good. All right, let's get down on the ground now. Second exercise is our leg lift in a side plank position. So I'm going to come down. I'm starting on my left side. Couple options here. I can use my knee.
5 seconds.
Get in an assisted side plank here, lifting my leg like so. This works fantastic. You get that core, you're getting those glutes. If you want to take it up a notch, go ahead and take it into that full side plank. The trick, whichever way you're doing it, you want to make sure that right hip is stacked on top of that left hip, okay? And I'm leading with the side of my foot. Notice, my toe is not up. No.
5 seconds.
And I know those of you who come to class with me, you know how I feel about that. We don't want our toe pointing up. We want our toe pointing, in this case, at the camera, all right? All right, other side.
5 seconds.
So remember, we can either get into that assisted, and again, be sure your hips are stacked. This hand can be in the air. It can be down on the ground for support too. Getting that nice leg lift here. You really start to feel it in your glutes, okay? Also gonna feel this in your core, your sides. You come up on that side plank. And just make sure those hips are stacked. We move slow and controlled. The slower you move, get that hand down here, the better.
5 seconds.
My toe, leading with the side of my foot. Good. Ooh, man. All right, now we're going to do those crisscross blast off push-ups. So I'll show you with the dumbbells. You do not need these. This time I'll show them with you. Show them. Some people, you can just put your hands right
5
on
seconds.
We're going to start out in that high plank. And then we're going to do right knee, left elbow, left knee, right elbow, back, blast off to a push up. Okay? Crisscross, back, blast off to a push up. How do we modify this? Crisscross, back, knees, push up. See how that is? Why do I like having these dumbbells under my hand? Because they force me into a certain form.
5 seconds.
Okay? Crisscross, blast off. Ooh, that was hard. Okay. So I'll do the next round of those without the dumbbells. I'm dripping sweat. And see how that looks. Again, you can do all of these.
5 seconds.
We are back to those switch lunges, round 2. Here we go. It's not about speed, it's about form. Nice and clean. You don't want your feet too close together. Go ahead and give yourself some space.
Five seconds.
All right. Back down on the ground for those side planks. So, if those side planks didn't work really well for you with the leg lift last time,
5 seconds.
don't do the leg lift, okay? You can just do the side plank. We can just do the side plank like this. We can do the side plank like this. And maybe we can raise that leg. Maybe we use our arm for support. So when I use my arm for support, it actually encourages my right hip to stay stacked over my left. Whereas sometimes when I open up, I tend to
5 seconds.
open up my hips too, so we don't want to do that. Be aware of your body line, your positioning on that. Woo. Okay, other side.
5 seconds.
All right, here we go.
5 seconds.
It'll never be
5 seconds.
we had to move. But we're continuing out. We got those crisscross blast off push-ups. No, that wasn't it. It was crunch.
5 seconds.
We're totally making do. Next we have those switch lunges. One more round. You're just gonna see my
5
legs.
seconds. 5 seconds.
All right. Leg lifts. You ready? Pull your close. Heavy, this is the last round. I know you can really hear me.
5 seconds.
Here we go. This is getting it done. All right, again to the other side. I may have to face the other way, but then I'm worried I won't hear the timer. So here we go this way.
5 seconds.
1, crisscross, blast off, push up. Then we are done.
5 seconds.
Here we go.
Seconds.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy we got through that. Just a little change of scenery. We're okay. Have a great day, you guys. Thanks for playing.